All right. This is the Reno and Doc Show. I'm Reno. This is Doc.
Hello, everybody.
And we're here to try something new. As you can see us, my room, the duct tape plastic bag back there for half the wall. And then you got the rebel flag and got the... So you're getting to look at actually me and Doc this time.
Yeah.
Instead of just pictures, So
we're going to try this out for a few episodes. If you guys like it, we'll keep doing this. And we're going to try and do shows on occasion whenever, maybe every week or just every few days. If there's something that comes up in the news or something comes up around here that we think is kind of something worth talking about, we'll get on here and we will talk things over with you guys. And hopefully you guys will respond with your comments about what you feel about what we talk about.
And you won't see no guest on here. At least not that I know of.
Well, unless we get somebody who really wants to come in here that we've made fun of in the past.
Seriously, but for the most part, you're going to get just us and give us, of course, your comments and your likes or dislikes, what you think of what we're doing.
And of course, subscribe to Reno. This is
Reno, and you also subscribe to your channel, Doc the Metal Freak.
Doc the Metal Freak, that's right.
And check out his videos and all of mine that I've done. Let's get started.
Okay, first thing we have to really talk about the fireworks show from this past Sunday.
Sucked.
My God.
You've seen fireworks shows that actually were good here in this town.
Yeah.
And my mom was telling me on her trip back from Ohio when she went up there, she said that the fireworks show she saw in Nashville was just amazing.
Yeah.
Because they stopped in Nashville, Tennessee to go see that. On their way to Memphis to see Elvis, but they stopped in Nashville to see that.
Of course, Elvis has been dead for years. I don't know.
See the house or whatever, but in Graceland or whatever they call it.
Right.
But they were in Nashville to see the Grand Ole Opry first.
Right.
And she said the fireworks there were amazing. I said, well, you better glad you wasn't in this one. I said, this one sucked.
It's really sad how it just seemed like their big finale, they did it right in the middle, and then it's like the last half of it was just like kapow, 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 kapow.
And not as long.
Yeah.
I mean, this one was like maybe a 10-minute long fireworks show, and normally we're used to running 20, 25 minutes of just lots of stuff to see, but this time it's like nobody cared. It just seemed like to me they didn't give a shit.
And it just seemed really weird. I mean, the last four we got going was like pop, 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 and then we hear people applauding, and we're like, what's going on?
It,
and then everybody starts leaving, and we're like, that's it? That's the end of it?
And you can hear the girls below. Well, you was making jokes and some girl laughing, that I guess thought what we were doing was kind of funny. I mean, I don't know.
But to me, it was just kind of weird how it's like the whole thing ended with just pop, 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 applause. And then, like, maybe they were applauding because they thought that looked kind of cool. And I was like, wait, where's everybody going? Everybody's leaving. What the?
So that's your fireworks show for Boonville this year, and it's up.
It really sucked. It really blew.
And we're not talking about Boonville, Missouri. We're talking about Boonville, Arkansas.
Yeah. Although I've never been to Boonville, Missouri. But,
I've been through there. It's actually probably about almost half the size of Fort Smith.
Wow.
I mean, it's actually quite bigger. So is Ozark, Missouri. Both of them are actually pretty big. Compared to these rinky-dink little towns down here.
No kidding. Well, at least Boonville's starting to try to get bigger. I mean, I guess we could talk about the big news for you that you're excited about. I think Boonville's supposed to be going back up to 4A.
Well, that's the Boonville rumor.
Yeah.
We don't know that for sure. It hasn't been verified, but we got told from a friend yesterday that Boonville was moving back to the 4A division. But you know how it is in Boonville.
Yeah.
And the way the rumors work. So we really don't know until we see it for ourselves. So we're going to leave that as a rumor for now, because that's not for sure. It hasn't been verified.
But if it is true, I'm pretty sure that's probably going to.
Well, when we start talking about the weekly games, they'll know. And
yeah.
Tune in this year, and we'll try to do the weekly games again.
Well, if
I'm here and
if he hasn't skittled up onto
Russellville or plans to go Russellville, which we'll get on that another time, unless that's on one of the subjects. I don't know if it is or not.
Not right now, no.
Okay, well then that's another time.
Okay, this is one that really just made me just laugh out loud. Fox News claiming the Statue of Liberty is really male.
Transgender, yeah, I know what they said.
Yeah.
How does a statue do that? Did it go have surgery all of a sudden? We didn't know it.
I don't know. This was apparently supposed to be something that happened. Fox News claims that that France pulled a fast one on us and gave us a male Statue of Liberty. I'm kind of sitting there, kind of going like, well, how are they supposed to tell? They can't get underneath.
Well, it had to be Bruce Jenner told them that.
I suppose.
You know, so they could support gay rights. I guess I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
so whoop-dee, who cares? It's a statue.
That's the way I look at it. I mean, it was Fox News makes up all kinds of stupid crap. I mean,
well, some of their stuff's legit, but some of their stuff, you know, is kind of out there.
Yeah, it's a little iffy.
I mean, it's about like Area 51. We both know that's kind of out there too. No one's ever proved that base actually exists. There's all been claims of it, but there's been no proof.
Well, Steve did.
According to Steve, everybody that's in his mind actually exists. But that's another subject, another time.
Here first, folks.
Well, we're trying to stick on subject, folks, but you got to remember, Reno and Doc got to go separate out sometimes with cool shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to bring up this person's name, but a friend of ours bragging on Facebook about having a whole lot of guns and then getting most of them stolen.
He showed his stupidity.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh man, he gets on Facebook. I got these guns, I got that. You know, I'll whack people. I'll do this shit. And, you know, and then he gets his gun stolen. And his response to getting his gun stolen is, I'm gonna go cut off people's hands, cause that's ghetto. That's how I do against my homies." It's like, dude, really, grow the fuck up. I mean, how old is this guy? What, 20, 28, 29 maybe?
He's close to, I think he's close to 30.
He's out here talking, my homies. And this is, you know, a guy who lives in a small town saying this shit. Trying to play gangster in an itty bitty town.
And let's not forget about how he backed down from somebody.
Oh, he backed down from another guy which was pathetic.
Shorter than both Reno and myself.
Yeah, and not only that, a pussy. He's shorter and he's a bitch. But yet he backed the other guy down, who's got all them guns.
Yeah.
And
that got stolen.
It's amazing. People they show stupidity.
I don't know. I mean, he wants to sit there bragging about having guns, and he says, you know.
Well, I mean, honestly, you know, what do you think? I mean, really, if you were bragging about guns, wouldn't you know? Here's what gets me.
Well,
I've got all these guns, but yet my homie stole my guns while I was 2 weeks in jail. But yet he wrote these two letters 2 days apart. How the fuck did he wind up doing 2 weeks in jail with letters that were 2 days apart?
I don't know.
I don't get that. I didn't think they allowed Facebook in jail.
I have no idea.
That's my honest opinion. I don't know.
Unless he got in his phone and wanted to check messages on Facebook.
This probably ain't on the subject list, but let me go ahead and ask.
Okay.
What do you think about the whole idea of voting for the new jail? Are you with it or against it?
I don't vote.
Well, I mean, just your opinion wise.
I don't know. There's two sides to this. I mean, you know, you got the new jail. They want to sit there and say, oh, it's going to be better to hold prisoners and da-da-da. But there's the other side of the coin where they say, yeah, but they're going to raise taxes. And that always happens.
Well, I look at it as, well, you're right, they raise taxes at the same time. They do kind of need a new one. I mean, they've already had 2 prisoners escape no more than about 2 weeks ago. And they've been out searching for them. It's like, you know, you kind of need a new jail when you've had that many escapes.
Yeah. And
that jail has had several prisoners break out of it.
Well, I think it's mainly because police officers are just staggering around trying to find a donut, and they just accidentally drop the keys by the door where the prisoners are at. And they
what?
Just go.
Steve Reed made the sheriff. All right. Well, what's the next subject?
That's something he's really hoping never ever happens.
Somebody told me he was going to try to run this year.
Oh God! If that happens, Reno, you better move out of town. Okay, he be Logan County Sheriff.
That's what I've heard.
You better move to another county then.
No worse than Boyd Dan Hicks. Well, he's a little worse than Boyd Dan. Because he just goes after you for donuts, and Boyd Dan goes after you for drugs.
or for jaywalking.
Steve Reed, he'll come after you for donuts or for cutting down his mama's donuts. I mean, we're running out of time here. We're almost up to 10 minutes.
All right. The Dallas cop shooting situation. What's your thoughts on that?
Man, I don't know. I mean, when I read on a little bit on Facebook, and the story of that is that it's racism. That it was, you know, according to what I read on Facebook, you know, was black folks that were gunmen who shot police. And the way I understood it started out being a protest. Mm-hmm. And 3 black males, I believe it was, had sniper rifles and started taking out cops. And their claim on Facebook was this was racially motivated. Now here's one that kind of gets me. On one of the stories it says that Beyonce, the female singer, was the one who started it by writing a letter on the internet telling blacks to raise arms and start lynching whites and cops. And I don't know if that's legit, but their story was that she started off by saying she wanted with this letter saying it's time for blacks to lynch whites and cops. And then 2 days later, they start these sniper guys take out these 5 cops and 7 more were wounded. But from my understanding, it started out as a protest and turned violent quick.
Yeah.
But it was 3 snipers who did it. It didn't say whether the gunmen were shot down or not. I don't know if the guys were even captured, to be honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a shame this happened, but it's kind of crazy. I mean, whether you like cops or not, my brother-in-law's a cop, and I worry about him and everything like that. And he's a good guy. I've got nothing against him being a cop. He's a cool guy. He's a great guy. But when something like this happens, you don't know what's again. You don't know what side of the coin to really flip for.
Coming from me, who don't like cops that much, I say this much: if you're actually a decent human being, you're a cop, you don't deserve to be taken out like your dogs. I mean, I've run into cops that are assholes, and the kind that I wouldn't mind seeing getting their ass beaten, even a few of them shot because they're assholes. Well, the kind that would shoot you just to look at you. You've got cops out there that'll shoot you, just look at you, and some of them are assholes. But those few bad cops, they make it bad for the good ones.
Yeah.
And you hate to see the good ones being gunned down. For stupid ass shit. Whether it's racially motivated or whether somebody pissed you off just because they gave you a ticket.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't want a ticket, follow the fucking rules. Stop running red lights. But they say this was racially motivated. I don't know. I have to say the chief of police is black. That much I do know about Dallas police.
Yeah.
And naturally, he's upset about it. Like he said, I'm not going to change the way things are being done because I'm not going to let somebody scare us. Granted, it sucks we lost these cops. And you even see a lot of black cops hugging people because, losing them officers. I think most of the officers that died were whites. And excuse me just a minute. But anyway, it's sad what happened. It shouldn't happen.
Be right back. So I'm just gonna sit here and be all kinds of goofy for you. Subscribe to Reno's channel if you would.
I think we're gonna call it for now.
All right. Well, we are gonna cut things off right now and get this bad boy uploaded again. Subscribe to Reno's channel and somebody behind us.
Hey, a friend arrived.
That's our buddy Ricky. And maybe one day he'll have a YouTube channel. You guys go subscribe.
We're working on it. We're trying to gain one.
So, so please subscribe to this channel. Check out my YouTube channel if you like, Doc the Metal Freak. Subscribe to both of us if you like, and if you don't, that's okay too. God bless, take care of yourselves, and as always,
peace out.